Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. Over the fields we go, laughing all the way. Ha, 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 bells on bobtails ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle bells, Okay,
we're in the Christmas spirit.
Wait,
How
gotta
could we
go
not
through.
be with these antlers on?
Hello, welcome to Deals with Heels, where female entrepreneurs thrive. This episode is about prospecting and is brought to you by our sponsor, Hexagon Media. They're an advertising agency that helps small businesses get big results from their advertising. I'm Deborah. I'm our host.
And I'm Christina.
Our other host.
Yes. And it is Christmas.
Well, it will be.
Yes. Well, today's the 19th, so you just got a few more days to go, guys.
But this is our Christmas episode. So Merry Christmas,
and
everyone.
Happy holidays, guys.
So exciting.
It's been an amazing year. I mean, the growth within this year of myself has just been truly, and the partnership that we have formed is just not meant to, I mean, it's just absolutely incredible.
I definitely had a big growth year myself, and we have one more episode, I think, before the end of the year, but I'm really excited to move into 2024 with everything that I accomplished in 2023, and so happy for Christmas. I'm leaving after this episode to go spend it in Colorado with my daughter and my new grandbaby, my first
goodness.
one. So I'm really excited to get to do that. We haven't had a baby in the family in a really long time, so I'm really excited about that.
Yes. It's always magical during Christmas time.
I love Christmas. I don't have any kids at home, and I still decorate and put my tree up, and I just love Christmas decorations and Christmas time. There's just something about it that I just love it.
Well, as the years have gone, I've actually dialed it back a lot. My husband used to not like this time of year.
I have not really dialed it back that much. I mean, when I had 5 kids at home, obviously you have a lot going on, but I still have a lot of decorations. But I love it so much, and I'm going to help my daughter put some decorations up at her house. So,
oh, that's going to be building those new memories with the grandbabies.
Yes, and I'm excited to be there. So I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas.
Yes.
But this episode, we are still in the startup key, and I think that you and I, as we have talked through different things, we came up with this episode fairly recently, and it is about prospecting. And there's a lot of people, I think, that don't really understand what that is or why it's important, and it's really important for your new business.
And that's, to kind of piggyback off of last week's episode, these are the things you potentially do not know going into a business and the true way of prospecting. Because the reason we're doing this, guys, is because she's literally just helped me with this after we were doing this. And what is going on? What am I missing? And that's what it was.
It is a lot of, if you've been in a sales job for a big sales company, then you likely know what prospecting is. But it works a little bit differently when you're self-employed because you have to generate it yourself. A lot of salespeople get a job at a place that they provide the leads for them. So they don't do a lot of prospecting. They probably do a little bit, and they bring in a little bit of business on their own. But when you own your own business, especially when you first start out, you have to go out and do prospecting. We had a whole 5-series episode on networking, which is prospecting.
And it is, but it's just that follow-up, that asking for the business people.
Well, and prospecting is the process of generating leads for your business. It's different than marketing. Marketing is your plan, your advertising, your content, all of that goes in, and prospecting is a part of your marketing and sales plan, but it's different than actual marketing is, and it's different than sales. Sales is one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing my sales presentation to the prospect that's sitting before me, and I've already prospected. I've already got that person sitting in front of me. So prospecting is the process of getting somebody in front of you so that you can give them a sales presentation.
Yes.
And like we talked about with Mendy in the last episode, it's not if you build it, they will come.
Mm.
It just doesn't work that way unless you happen to get the newest trendy thing. And the chances of that are pretty slim. So you're going to be responsible for going out and generating customers. And if you did your business plan, then you know how many customers
that you
need to generate to generate the revenue. And I wouldn't expect you to have your whole operating expenses covered. We talked about phasing those in because you'll get better and better at prospecting as you go. There's a lot of different techniques for prospecting, and I'm going to talk about some of them.
Oh, please do, because I'm telling you, these little things click so much to certain people, and that's why we do this podcast, is because what you've learned, I'm just learning what I'm learning, and so to be able to teach and grow and add value, because so many people genuinely don't know and they're too scared to ask.
You're exactly right. And a lot of people that start their own business haven't been in sales, and they don't think about what they're doing as selling. They just don't see it as that. And it is. You're selling it. And you're responsible for the whole process of selling, which starts with prospecting. It may start with marketing and marketing materials that you use for prospecting, but some ideas for prospecting. I think the easiest way for people to start is with their warm market. And what I mean by that is everyone that you know. A great exercise that you can do to help you see exactly how many people you know is to get a pen and paper and start alphabetically in your mind. Everyone you know that's name starts with A. Everyone that you know. Even if you have a brick and mortar store in Oklahoma City and you're naming people that are in other parts of the state or other parts of the country, still list them, because you don't know who they know. And you're not calling your warm market to sell them something. You're calling them to tell them what you're doing and asking them if they know anyone that might need your services. Your service or your product is solving a problem for someone. And you have to think of your messaging like that. What problem am I solving for this group? So now that you've thought of the problem and your product or services are the solution, now it's very simple to ask them, do you know anyone with this problem that I might be able to help? And if you actually call people that you know and that know you, that are friends or relatives or even just an acquaintance or someone that maybe you've met professionally over the years, they will help you. They will help you. So that type of prospecting is really important. You're talking to people that you know, so it's easier. They're likely not going to be mean to you like strangers will.
Oh, yeah. Or hang up in your...
Right. And you can do it with texting or you can do it with calling. I think it depends on who the person is. I even know some people who prefer email.
Yeah.
They're fairly old school. But a lot of people, they just don't answer the phone. I had a young person that worked for me and something happened at work. And I'd called and left messages. I really wanted to talk to them and make sure that they were okay. And I couldn't get them to call me back because I had to text them. And it was definitely something that I found inappropriate to talk about via text, but that's their generation. And I had to accommodate to get what I needed. And so I think that that's true for selling as well. It might be where it used to be making phone calls and now you may be texting and you've got a whole list of people that you're going to call to because for whatever reason, you know that they prefer a phone call, and a phone call probably is the most effective. It's hard to say no to somebody and not think of something to tell them when they have you on the spot on the phone.
Right. Well, and that's where, when I went to do this exercise, it is one of those that when you call, they don't answer. You text them, and 2 seconds later, they're texting you back, and it's just, so it's that trying to find that balance. Also.
It is. I think a lot of people are text these days. And if they know you personally and you're not spamming them, you're sending them an actual text because you know them. And I think that's a great way to start your prospecting for your business, because it lets you get practice in and you're dealing with a friendly crowd. And so it won't be as discouraging when you first start out. So that is the first step that I would make. Then because you've written all of those down, I would also go through your phone, because there's going to be people that you left off that you know professionally from a previous job, but working all of those contacts as well, and really making those calls and asking for the business is a great way to prospect. Another great method is what you and I have been doing, and that's networking. Networking is 100% prospecting. It's not selling. It's prospecting. You're prospecting for referral partners, looking for referral partners that are going to give you referrals and leads that are prospects.
Yes.
And so that's a really important part. So important. We did a whole series
on it.
Episodes 6 through 10 are on prospecting, or not on prospecting. They are on prospecting, on networking,
yes.
which is a form of prospecting, and it's really important part of your business. And if you're going to organize all of those, I pick up a lot of business cards, and they all have phone numbers, and they all have text and email addresses on them. So maintaining those, even if you're just inputting them into an Excel file so that you have them and you remember who they are. I try, when I put them in my phone, to put who they work for more than the last name, because I've got like 5 Ambers in there, and I'm like, okay, now which one is the...
And that's another thing. It's when you say that, when I was going through my phone, I'm like, oh, Denise. Okay, I've got to figure out which Denises these really are, because you do. You meet these people, and so that's why it's really important to make sure when you do that, to put everything in right.
And then eventually, when you have so many and you've built so many on your list from your website and all the places that you gather everyone's information, having that CRM management system so that you can automate your prospecting in the future, I think is important, but I don't think it's important for startup. And I know all the people out there selling all the CRMs aren't going to like that, but honestly, what do you have to manage?
Yeah.
You don't have any customers yet. So it's important that you expend that energy getting customers, as opposed to getting all the software and all the fancy stuff and getting all prepared to be able to send 1,000 emails. But right now, that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is having that personal touch. When you're first starting out, no one is going to care as much about your business as you are.
No.
So it's important that it's your business. When you start out, you're the one doing the networking and you're the one doing the prospecting. Even if you have salespeople, you need to be out doing it, because you need to be identified. You don't want your salesperson to be identified as that company. And I know a sign company, and their sales guy, he networks a ton, and seemingly it's his business, and it's not.
Yep. And I know exactly who you're talking about.
And so I think it's important that you have a presence yourself while you're out prospecting for leads for your customers. And I think that's true in any of your networking groups, your paid ones, all of those. You're prospecting for leads and qualified referrals when you're doing all of those things.
And then also it goes back to the principle of give and receive as well. So when you're out and you are prospecting, you're also thinking in the back of your mind, different ways that you can help them as well.
Yes. And I think brainstorming all of those ways to find those customers, you've identified who your customers are. Mm-hmm. And I think it's important to consider that when you're determining where you can find all of those people. Mm-hmm. Where are all of these people? Another way that you can prospect after you've worked your warm market, because I'm never going to say that you should do this first, but I, with my advertising agency, buy lists for people. Mm-hmm. I recently bought a farmer's insurance list for the Oklahoma City DMA, excluding Oklahoma County. Mm-hmm. And so that we uploaded it. We're sending digital ads to that list, but you can use those lists. You can get email, you have to specify, but you can have a great list for you to call, and there's places they'll scrub it against the do not call list if you're going to call them. But you can buy those prospects. Now, those aren't prospects yet. You got to contact them and make them prospects. You're just prospecting through them, and those lists need to really be qualified. So if you know that you're going to sell to teachers and people that make over $50,000 a year, you've got your list of whatever that is, we can pull that list most likely. Now you have to figure out what you're going to do with that list, mm-hmm. but that's marketing. That's not prospecting. So all of that prospecting. Another way to prospect that a lot of people are going to groan when I say it, and that's door-to-door sales. Whether that's business to business and you're going and seeing different businesses my business is all business to business mm-hmm. sales. So for me to prospect, I would need to go to the business district and walk through. You can call, we can pull lists for businesses as well, but neighborhoods, mm-hmm. especially if you've got one of those household trade industries, mm-hmm. Be sure if you're going to do that you check with the local municipality and see if there's a permit required for you to be able to do that, because these days most communities have that requirement. So it's important that you do that, or some little old lady will tell on you and you'll get a ticket for mm-hmm. walking in their neighborhood without.
Oh, yes.
But that's a great way. And especially if you have other customers already in that neighborhood, or, maybe you have family or one of your warm market people live in that neighborhood, then you can drop a name while you're out knocking on doors. And all prospecting, whether that's phone work, whether that's knocking on doors, whether that's networking, every ounce of that is a numbers game. You have to make so many contacts before you get an actual prospect and lead. And we don't know how many that is, because there's a lot of factors involved in determining that. One, what are you selling? It depends. Mm-hmm. Is it something they can decide really quickly, or is it something that's a really high dollar item that it's going to take time? How good are you at selling it? Let's face it, if somebody's just starting out, they may not be as good of a salesperson when you're first starting. So you're going to make more contacts. Whatever you think that number is, you should double it.
Yeah.
And I think a great method for prospecting is, no matter what you're doing, I'm not going to finish until I've done 5 more. Or 20 more, or however many that is. And then hold yourself accountable to that. I think that the hardest thing about prospecting is the rejection. And you just got to move through those as quickly as you can. Don't spend a lot of time trying to convince them, because now you've wasted just really powerful prospecting time. Leave information. If you change your mind, please give me a call. Thank you. Do you know anybody else? Ask them for referrals, especially if they've been super friendly to you, asking them if they know anybody else. even though you may have never met them before.
Right. At the biggest, I really hope that your added value on this is kind of what you taught me and, be looking for that. But a lot of it is being uncomfortable. You're passionate and you know what you're trying to sell, but sometimes it doesn't come across that way. And it's okay if your list is very small. That's where you've got to start thinking outside of the box. I will say this week, I went to a new up and coming neighborhood where all of them are building new homes. I pack up, move in, I got with the realtor that runs all of those. We have a scheduled meeting next week. I would have never done that had it not just get out of my own way. Yes. And to be able to think outside the box.
I really recommend someone that is just starting their business. Once you've done the nuts and bolts of formation and all of those things, you need to generate business. You've got to have cash flow. And you may think, like Mindy was, she's a nuts and bolts person. Mm-hmm. So she did all of that stuff first. And there's definitely some of it that you have to do first. Mm-hmm. But you can't get caught up in marketing and making content and branding and all of those things, because the most important thing for you to do is generate revenue. You're a new business. Even if you have a loan, you need to generate revenue to offset expenses. So I can't stress enough how important prospecting is to the success of your business. It's a forever. It's not like I'm suddenly not going to have to prospect anymore. It's just you do it later, you pare down. You may have a salesperson that's calling their warm market. Mm-hmm. You may have advertising that's generating leads for you. But whatever it is, your prospecting is forever. There's a lot of good sales books and books on tape and training stuff that is all about prospecting. And it really is a lot about keeping that mindset in place for it. So I do hope all of you will get out there and prospect for all of your businesses. And if you have questions, please send us an email at dealswithheels.com. We'll be glad to answer those, and then look for some in-depth training in our subscription services that all are going to be available.
Yes. I'm going to be the student. I pick first dibs. And with that being said, I'm going to just add this really quick, and this can kind of be my key to accountability, because I'm going to be very vulnerable, is I had the branding. I had the Facebook. I had all of that. I still do. But I put so much into that because I know if people just see me, but I was not prospecting anybody. You can put it out there all dang day, people. But if you don't nurture your market and get those, it's just out there. So it's good to have, but if you don't know what you're doing, then you got to go through the steps.
And you have to, like you said, be uncomfortable. Ask for the business. Ask for the referral. The worst that could happen is they say no. And then later they may come back and say yes. Mm-hmm. It's okay if they say no. Say, okay, well, maybe next time if you think of someone, text me, and move on, because it's a numbers game.
Uh-huh. And the more you do it, guys, the better you will feel. Get with your best friend and say, hey, I need, what is your feedback? Because your best friend can tell you, girlfriend, we need to work now.
Well, and role playing is always important in a sales call, and we'll go through that at some point with sales strategy. But if you are uncomfortable, practice. But really, that's why starting with your warm market, you're so much more comfortable asking them, and it's hard. You're like, where do I fit it in? Just flat out ask them. If you've gone through
I'm so weird. It's like, oh my God, I can't ask my people that I know. What are they,
But they're the easy ones. Yes. That's the whole point. If you think about it, people ask you for money. They ask you questions that all day long. Every time you go to the store, every time people are asking you for money and for sales all day long. So it's very natural. It's just intimidating. And I have no idea why. Practice is the only way. Practice and make your calls. Call people. call people that you know, ask for referrals.
And guys, with it being the holidays, this is a perfect time. Everybody's out. Everybody's about, you get invited to these Christmas parties. Start really networking and prospecting.
Get their contact info. I don't recommend selling at the Christmas parties, but definitely
building that network that, because it's not maybe them, it's who they know.
Yes. And all those contacts are people that you can call later. Hey, I met you at the Christmas party.
Yes.
All of that. And you don't have to have a one-to-one. You can just ask them. So there were a lot of sales coaches back in the 2000s that was their thing, their method. And someone that worked for me still does it to this day. I get a text from him about every 2 months asking me for a referral and thanking me. I'm so grateful. You always...
If you ever get out of marketing sales, you just can go be people's sales coach because you're really good at it.
Well, sales is always part of marketing department. Yeah. So I've been a sales manager and sales coach pretty much my whole career. So those techniques for prospecting work and reach out. There's a lot of information out there available. So, it's time for us to talk about one of our favorite segments in our episode, which is
Show Us Your Deals.
And it came about because of Christina and I's mutual love for high heels. And as we did things that we were proud of when we first met, we would send each other a photograph of the shoe we were wearing when we did such badass thing, no matter what that was. And we don't discriminate. Christina and I both were heels and thus the name, but we now encourage all of our female business owners and entrepreneurs out there to participate with us in our badass, feeling good moments and to send us a photograph of the shoe that you were wearing when you did it. And it doesn't matter what kind of shoe, but we definitely want a picture of your foot in your shoe if you have it, and explain what you did that you're proud of. It doesn't have to be a revenue generating. Maybe you made it all the way through your prospect list and you're starting again. Whatever it was that you successfully did, we want to hear about it. And the ways you can let us know is you can email us at deals@dealswithheels.com. You can post it on social media and tag us, or you can use the hashtag
DealsWithHeels.
And we go through and find all of those fabulous female entrepreneur, beautiful queens, and we have a Queen of the Week every episode.
Every episode, yes.
I didn't know if we almost didn't get it in the last episode. We did at the end. We got in such a lively conversation with Mindy. But this week, our Queen of the Week is Mackenzie Morris. Yes. She owns Mackley's Creative. And that she's a creative business consultant.
And she's living her dream. She actually just closed down her online boutique to follow this passion. So, that's always an awesome thing that sometimes we outgrow something and being able to, that's what a true entrepreneur is all about, is evolving.
It sure is. And we go. Sometimes things are meant to be stepping stones and you have to not take it personally, even though sometimes it's heart-crushing for something like that to happen. But it gives her more time to focus on being creative and having that creativity in her consulting. I'm a very creative person, and so I can really appreciate that. And I congratulate her for getting more focused.
And those heels that she posted, the rhinestones, stiletto, they were more like, what are they, booties or?
I don't know.
But she did an awesome job. So once again, for our Queen of the Week is Mackenzie Moore, and congratulations, girl.
Congratulations. You are our Queen of the Week. You can find links to her website in our show notes, and we encourage you to check it out. And please, ladies,
show us your deals.
So we talked a little bit about key to accountability and being honest with, first off, yourself, in that this is not maybe what I'm the best at. And there are sales coaches out there that will help you, but you can also coach yourself, give yourself goals, write them down. And this is what I'm doing this week. And then keep track. How many people did I have to contact before I got a sale? Now you know I've got contact. You can get a pretty good average. And some days, man, you will rock it and you will get 3 and you will be like, that was fantastic. And then it's the law of averages. Mm-hmm. So if you nail 3 of them, chances are the next may not be as easy. But the more you do it, the better you get at it. And so you will get to where you can move through your list pretty quickly, and you're always adding to it as you're networking and getting business cards and lists. So I think the key is to just don't stop doing it.
Well, I agree with that. Don't stop doing it, but also make sure if you aren't understanding what part that you're missing, like if you go through all your contacts and all of this and something's not working, ask, because it could really change the way your business completely evolves, because it could be that one missing step through the process prospecting. Oh my goodness, that you think that you're doing it, but in all reality, you're really not. And so always following up with yourself. Are you working on your business? Are you working in your business? And when you need to generate revenue, you don't need busy work, people. You don't have to be a doer. You need to hold yourself accountable and really dig into your business. If you want to succeed, you got to dig deep.
Yes. And it's not that, I mean, I'm a marketing professional. So believe you me, I love to do branding and I love to spend money and all of those things. But more importantly, I want to be successful. I want my clients and my friends to be successful. So yes, is all of that organic content important? Sure it is. It is important. Is it going to bring you revenue? Nope, not right now. That is the marathon. And when you're first starting, that's just the beginning of the marathon. So it takes a long time for all of that content to kick in. So you got to sprint. You got to sprint and just keep bringing in business. And eventually that momentum will hit and you'll be able to relax a little bit and start focusing on.
And if you're not doing prospect now, go do it. If you don't know what prospecting is, please email us. We will be glad to tell you, because it really can change your business.
It'll save your business and it'll let you start off on the right foot if you make sure prospecting is in your top 5 things that you got to do.
And this lady would tell me, have you done this? Have you done this? And I'm like, what is she even talking about? But I was too scared to ask.
Well, and you have to humble yourself to the fact that you don't know everything and that what you planned on doing may not work. And the only way you can see another way, there's always, I learn all the time. Mm-hmm. I learn marketing and sales stuff from people all the time.
And that's good, because you're growing in your areas, and that's where we all need to be growing.
So if I can learn every day from somebody in a field that I'm an expert in, then think of everything that I can learn from people in a field that I'm not an expert in. And the same is true for every business owner out there. So humble yourself, ask the questions, don't worry about what they think. Worry about making yourself better every day.
And get out of your own way, guys, because you are the only one stopping you.
This is certain. Okay. Well, we have come towards the end. We want to thank our sponsor, which is Hexagon Media. That is actually my advertising agency. I wanted to sponsor our Christmas episode. And we haven't even mentioned our reindeer ears that we're wearing. We're on video on YouTube. You can see us, and we have a little bit of festivities going on today for us and Christmas. And Christina found us some reindeer ears. Mine are shiny green.
And mine are shiny red.
So cute. And so you can check us out on YouTube. Please watch, subscribe, listen.
Follow whatever. And also, ladies, show us your deals.
Show us your deals.
Please, we want to go into this new year and really have this very empowerment of women and really supporting each other.
I agree. I feel very empowered with our tribe that we're building,
Mm-hmm.
and it feels really good to share our knowledge with people that I know it can help them
Mm-hmm.
and that they can learn from our mistakes and from our guests and from our successes as well.
Yes.
It's nice to hear about our queen's successes, and what a great Christmas gift.
Oh, it is one of the most amazing gifts that this has been given to me all year.
It's very rewarding.
It's very, very rewarding. And it's so neat because going into the next series right after Christmas is time management. And what a way to start that year off on the right foot. So be getting your resolutions and your goals already, because that's what next episode's going to be all about.
All about time management and timing in your marketing plan and how to work all of that out to where you're not ran completely ragged, and maybe it'll be do as I say and not as I do for me. I run myself ragged a lot.
Right.
So please check out our sponsor's website, www.hexagonmedia.net. And you can find a link to that in our show notes as well. Ladies, please show us your deals and have a Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yes, guys. And just spend that time with the family. It's the most important
Friends
thing.
and family.
Yes.
If you don't have friends and family, go volunteer somewhere at a soup kitchen and spend that with people and doing something good, because it really warms my heart when I am able to do that. And in my loneliest times, if I went out and did that, it was everything that I needed at that time, because when you're lonely and you don't have people, and I'm always open for an orphan Thanksgiving or an orphan Christmas, but if you are by yourself, truly in a new place, then I recommend going out and volunteering during Christmas time.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Everybody have a Merry Christmas.
Christmas.
We did it.
All right.